Eso, muy bien. Ajá, vamos a verlos compitiendo ya. Ajá. Okay, Luis. So let's continue with the second part of our science class. Today we are going to be working with a different topic, and this topic is very nice, okay? And it is called bones and muscles. Bones and muscles. And I am going to start sharing with you my screen because I have a presentation for you, and you are going to notice the most important information about this topic. So everyone be ready to start checking the presentation, okay? So everyone, just let me tell you that there is another exercise that is missing from the book, but I am going to send it to you through your emails, okay? So don't worry about this. So let's continue with the class, okay? So as you can see over here, as I told you before, we are going to start working today with a new topic that is called bones and muscles. And we are going to be watching a video for you to understand which is the difference between a bone and the muscles and the different functions that both of them have in our body, okay? So let's start with this. Okay, let me try because I think that I didn't activated the audio. Okay, so let me check. Okay. Okay, let's start.
Run and play with such ease. But do you know what lies within our body that makes this possible? They are the bones and muscles within our body, and they take charge. Let us learn how. The bones are inside the body and are hard. They give our body definite structure. There are 206 bones in our body, and they all combine to form the skeleton. 2 or more bones meet to form a joint. The bones cannot move by themselves. The power to move your bones comes from the muscles. These muscles are bundles of tissues that have the ability to contract, producing movement. Muscles also help the body parts to remain at their respective positions. They pull on the bones to move them. The muscles are attached to the bones at different joints in the body. There are numerous such joints, such as the neck joint, elbow joint, wrist joint, and the knee joint. Thus, bones and muscles together give our body shape and form and help us to move and perform all physical tasks. Summary: the bones are inside the body and are hard. There are 206 bones in our body, and they all combine to form the skeleton. The bones cannot move by themselves. The power to move your bones comes from the muscles. Muscles are bundles of tissues that have the ability to contract, producing movement.
Okay, excellent. So as you can see over here, that it is a complete information about the muscles and also the bones. So right now, since you already watched the video, I am going to ask you questions about the video. So I really hope that you paid attention to that. So let me check over here. Okay, I'm going to ask Anna. Okay, Anna, I have a question for you. According to the video, how many bones do we have in our body, Anna? Okay, let me try again.
200.
200 and? Okay, you are close, but let me check another person, okay? Thank you very much. Aaron, how many bones do we have in our body according to what the video said?
200.
Okay, let me tell you, 204 or 206?
204.
No, let me try with Isabella. Isabella, how many bones do we have in our body? Isabella?
206.
206 bones, very good. That is the total of bones that we have in our body. Now, let me check Astrid. Astrid, I want you to tell me if it is true or false. The bones are outside of our body. The bones are outside of our body. True or false?
False.
It is false because they are where? Inside? Are they inside?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, very good. Now, let me ask another question, and I am going to ask this to Andrea. Andrea, the muscles, what about the muscles? Tell me if it is true or false. The muscles are soft.
What?
The muscles are soft.
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 Are false.
Why is it false?
Because
Why is it false? Okay, let me show you the word that I told you, okay, for you to understand better this part. Let me check. Okay, I am going to write it on a piece of paper for you to understand better the word that I am presenting to you. Okay, I hope that this can be seen, okay, through the computer. Let me check. This is the word. They are soft or hard?
soft.
They are soft, very good. And now I am going to ask Alberto. Alberto, could you please tell me if it would be possible for humans to move if we didn't have bones? Yes or no? No, right? Because they give us a definite shape. Very good. Excellent, Alberto. Now let me check another person, and I am going to ask Nady. Okay, Nady. Do you think that if we didn't have muscles, we would be able to move? True or false? If we didn't have muscles, would you be able to move or not?
True.
Nady?
True.
We would be able to move without muscles. Okay, she said true, right? But let me check another person if this person changes the answer. Let me try with Brandon. Okay, Brandon, tell me, Brandon, do you think that it would be possible for humans to walk or to move without bones? If we didn't have bones, we would be able to move, yes or no? Brandon?
Yes.
We would be able to move without bones. Okay, you say yes. Okay, let me check. Let me try that. Aaron is raising his hand. Aaron, we would be able to move if we didn't have bones.
False.
It is false. Very good. We wouldn't be able to move if we didn't have bones. Very good. But let me check. Let me check another question. And this question goes for Abby. Okay, Abby, I have a question for you, Abby. Tell me, do you think that it would be possible for humans to move without having muscles?
No.
It is false, right? Because the muscles are also responsible for all the movements that we can do with our body, okay? So you have to keep in mind that. Now, tell me, Andrea, do you want to say something, Andrea?
No, Miss, I want to participate.
Okay, you wanted to participate, okay? Thank you very much. And now let me check, Monica, do you want to say something, Monica? But I can ask you another question. Okay, so let me remind you or try to help me with this because I think that I forget something about the bones. Okay, Monica, do you remember how many how many bones do we have in our body? Do you remember that? How many bones? Bones. Do you remember that? Okay, try to remember that, okay, Monica, and then I am going to ask you again. Don't worry. Try to remember that question, okay, about how many bones do we have in our body. Okay, Andrea, let me ask you something. Okay, do you remember which is the topic that we are learning today? How is it called?
Bones and muscles.
Bones and muscles, okay? You have to remember that this is something very important because they are part of our body, okay? So let me check that Andrea wants the answer. How many bones do we have in our body?
No.
No. Okay, Monica, let's check with another person and don't forget this. Luis Diego, how many bones do we have in our body?
506.
206. Excellent. Very good. That is the correct answer. Don't forget that. That the humans in their bodies or in our bodies, we have 206 bones, okay? And try to remember also, what is one characteristic from the bones? That the bones are very hard, okay? If they weren't hard, it would be able for us to be possible, or we wouldn't be able to be moving or walking, okay? Because remember all the weight that we have in our body, and that also the muscles are very important because first we have our skeleton that is made of bones, and then after that, what covers our bones or our skeleton are the muscles. The muscles cover our skeleton, right? And the muscles are the ones responsible for all the movements that we can do. Which are the movements that we can perform with our muscles and bones? They are the movements of reflection and also of relaxation. When we do this, okay, you can see the movement over here. If you do this, you are going to notice how your muscles move over here. Do this with me and you feel like strong, right? Because something moves over here. And this is our muscle. This is part of our muscle. And this is the movement or reflection. And we also have Relaxation. Can you see how it changes? There is a contraction over here. And these are part of our muscles. Everything in our body, we have muscles, okay, that covers or helps to cover all our bones and all our body, and they are responsible for the movements, okay? So don't forget about that. Now, let's continue talking about or learning more about this topic, okay? So let me check over here. Okay, let's continue.
Bones comes from the muscles.
Okay, so as you can see over here I have a structure that this is called skeleton. This is a skeleton. This is the interior, or this is how our body looks without our skin and without the muscles, okay? This is the first structure that we have in our body. We have over here our bones and also the joints. What are the joints? These are the parts of the body that help us to have all of our bones together, okay, and to be able to work. So let's check more information about this. It says bones. The human body is made of 3 main skeletons. Pay attention to this because I am going to be asking you about this, okay? And it says, the human body is made up of 3 main skeletons. And now let's check which are the 3 skeletons by which we are made. And they say, the first one is the skeleton of the head, okay? It is the skeleton of our head. Then we have the skeleton of the trunk, okay? Where we have our chest and also our stomach, okay? That is the skeleton of the trunk. And then we have the skeleton of our extremities. And which are our extremities? Our arms and also our legs, okay? So let's try to remember. The 3 main skeletons of our human body, are the skeleton of the head, the skeleton of the trunk, and the skeleton of the extremities, okay? So I am going to do this again. I am going to stop sharing this and I am going to ask another person to help me, telling me which are the skeletons of our body. Let me check. Okay, Monica. Monica, I would like you to tell me, Monica, what the first main skeleton that we have in our body, Monica?
3.
Okay, which is the first main skeleton that we have in our body? Okay, you already told me that we have 3, but which is the first one that I mentioned? The skeleton of our, how do you call this part of our body? Monica?
Head.
Head, okay? The skeleton of our head. It is not the hair, okay? It is our head. That is the first skeleton. Now, let me check another person. Nady, are you there? I want to listen to you, Nady. Nady, which is the second skeleton that I mentioned in the presentation? This one that is over here. How is it called, this one? The skeleton of what?
Skeleton. The trunk.
Of the trunk. Very good. Okay, excellent. That is the second one. We have the first one, that is the skeleton of our head. And then the second one is the skeleton of our trunk. But now I am going to ask another person to help me with this. For example, Ana Gabriela, could you please tell me which is the third main skeleton from our body? Ana Gabriela. Okay, she isn't right there. Let me check. Roberto, do you remember which is the last or the third main skeleton of our body? We already have the skeleton of our head. We already said that. We also have the skeleton of the trunk. Which is the one that we are missing? What is that? The number 3. The skeleton of our extremities is formed by our arms that are part of our extremities, and also about our legs, okay? The legs and the arms form the skeleton of extremities, okay? So don't forget that. So let's continue with this part. Just to be sure, remember that the bones in the human body is made of three main skeletons. The skeleton of the head, the skeleton of the trunk, and the skeleton of our extremities, okay? Don't forget that. Now, let's continue with the next part. And we have another one, and it said this one, the spine. It is made up of 33 short bones called vertebrae. Vertebrae protect the spinal cord. This is an important part of our body also that forms part of our bones, okay? Let's continue. And as you can see, this is the way in which it can be seen, okay? This is a great example of how our spinal cord is formed. Now, let's continue with the other one. We have the rib cage. That is another important part of our body. It says that its function is to protect the heart and lungs, okay? This is very important, okay? Remember the facts about the spine. The spine is made up of 33 short bones called vertebrae that are these little ones that you can see in different colors, okay? And then we have the rib cage, that this is part of our chest that protects the heart, our heart, and the lungs, okay? So let me continue with this. Okay, let me check over here that someone is joining until now because of problems of that connection. Okay, let's continue with this, everyone. So don't forget these important facts about the other parts that form our bones also. Can you see over here? This is the rib cage. This is the way in which it is formed, and all of us, we have a rib cage. And now let's continue with this one. Now let's continue talking about the muscles. Remember that the muscles are the one responsible for us to be able to move, okay? They are responsible for our movements, and they are soft. They are different from the bones, right? Because remember that the bones are hard, but in the case of muscles, they are very soft. And can you see? This is like an structure that it is similar to the one that we have in our body. These are the muscles, and these are the colors that are represented by which we can represent our muscles. And let's check the information. And it says, muscles are elastic and resistant organs that are in charge of, can you see? Let's check the functions of the muscles. From movements, okay? The muscles are elastic and resistant organs that are in charge of movement. This is the main function of the muscles, our movements. And it says that the muscular system of humans is formed by more than 650 muscles. Can you see? We have more muscles than bones. Can you see how important it is? So let me check over here. Okay, so since I already present to you the amount of muscles that we have in our body, I want someone to tell me which is the amount of muscles that we have in our body. Let me check. Brandon. Brandon, do you want to tell me the answer? Okay, how many muscles do we have in our body?
650.
650 muscles, okay? Remember that muscles and bones are not the same, okay? Bones are the ones that are hard and give us shape. And in the case of muscles, they are soft and give us the possibility for us to move, okay? Because their main function is to produce the movements of our body, okay? And in the case of bones, we have 206 bones. And in the case of muscles, we have 650 muscles, okay? Now let me check over here. Andrea, you were raising your hand. Tell me. Did you want to say something?
No, Miss, I want to.
Okay, just let me ask you something, okay? Tell me, I already repeated that the amount of muscles and bones that we have. How many bones do we have in our body? Andrea?
Showing 206.
And how many muscles?
650.
Excellent, very good. That is everything that I want you to know, okay? So everyone, let me tell you that the class is about to finish, so we are going to stop over here.